Good. All right, we're back. Had a little difficulty there, and you missed the Spencer Hernsack goal there. It was a 4-on-4 even strength, trying to feed it up front. The puck's loose. Still in the top of the crease now, and it's a battle now as Buffalo tasted that goal and they won more. Logar picks up, feeds it across. Lozo with it, taking a shot. Rejected back into the corner, picked up Hernsack. Hernsack feeding it back to Lozo. Lozo on the keep. Going after Houlihan. Houlihan with it here. Houlihan in motion, is going to use the slot and see if he drops back. He's going to hang on to it. He's going to come all the way in, trying to feed it. It's a bouncer. As Diener was tying up Kiffner, it's still held with a shot coming, blocked off the stick from Jensen Bear. Picked up Hernsack. Hernsack trying to feed it to Logar. Comes right back to him. Hernsack feeds up. Lozo goes wide. Back to even strength. The puck goes back around in the corner, picked up by Bear. Bear with it here. Feeds it up, goes through. It's going to be turned over center ice by Tempest, feeding it up to Houlihan. Houlihan looking to spin through. Masonoff staying all over him. On the backhand pass, trying to feed right on top of the crease. As Logar was there. Trying it again, approaching the halfway mark. On the stop on the shot, and a clear of the crease done there. 10-13 remaining here in the first period, 1-0. Now, if you recall, the road team down in Fort Wayne, it was the home team that picked up the first goal, and then it was the road team that picked up the next three. So this is a carbon copy of two good teams. See if the Tempest can hold off a charging Distillers and see if they can answer. And a face-off call out. Dominsek comes in, up against Hess. Hens wins the drop, picked up Dershall. Dershall getting through. It's going to be poked up by Slarks on the pass, turned over by Tempest there with it. Picked up Kalachi there, and now it is a loose spinning puck. Oh, and a fan there by Melanson. He's going to pick it back up. Shot stopped, but it comes out into the corner. Gathered back up by Melanson. Kalachi with it here. Or Dominsek, I should say. He's wearing the Kalachi. Or wait. Going through an old list here. On a stop there, put on by Chris Burkle. So face-off, stick side on Burkle's defensive zone here. On the drop, picked up by Buffalo. Hanging on to it, working in the corner. Sorrow feeds up, gives it up to Ventura. Now the puck's back. Picked up by Gratz. Gratz hanging on to it, trying to wait on Wallem to get through. As he was delayed off. Now it's going to be Tattoo picks up. He's pushed off the play, loses some lumber here. Dershall with it here. Dershall feeding it off the board. It's going to be picked up now, played by Thornton. Thornton hit off the play by Tattoo, gathered up by Perry. Perry's got some. His Tattoo recovered and played a good D. Tie him up. Puck's now in the corner. It's going to be held on. Shot by Dershall. Now into the corner on the rebound. It was a pad save put on by Burkle. Ventura tries to feed it out. Connects over to Perry on the keep from Dershall. Taking a shot up front. Thornton trying to pick it up. He's got to leg it into the corner against Sorrow. It goes up the point. Gratz with a look. Block shot. Perry trying to work on it. He goes in and the puck's out of play. And the fans get a souvenir as it goes over the safety netting. Face-off, glove side of Burkle, picked up by Distillers, then now picked up by Tempest. They go to clear it, and it's picked up, and Brancic will pick it up as he gets it from Whipple, trying to connect there with Melanson. Brancic coming back into the defensive zone with control of the puck, gets rid of Melanson. Brancic spins out as he gets hit by Logar. Picked up Drews. Drews comes back. Brancic up in the forward spot, connects over to Kucharski, picked up and goes offside as the puck comes back and forth. Kucharski tried to get across, and Brancic picks it up. And it rolled out of his stick. Solid offsides against the Distillers, but the face-off was just outside of the attacking zone. With 8:11 remaining here in the first period, 1-0 Buffalo Tempest. Conference on the Distillers bench with the officials, and they are ready for action now on the puck drop. Right in front of the Buffalo Tempest bench on the drop. It's going to be a race back. Charles trying to clear it out. Picked up by Hess into the neutral zone. Hess feeding it, delayed offside, kicked out. Now it's going to be picked up by Brancic. Brancic with it here. Brancic, though, got tied up there with Loger, gives Melanson a chance here. He loses it on the backhand, picks it up off the board. It's going to be spoiled. Picked up Slarks, feeds it to Brancic as Brancic got a hold of it momentarily. Brancic with the puck, Whipple goes up high. Oh, on a no call, so headshots are legal. So here we go. It won't be over here. Off the boards it goes. Going to be in the zone. And an icing trying to connect there. So it's a championship game. See if the officials stay consistent in the calls. Slarks versus Stewart on the face-off glove side of Austin Mellon. On the puck drop, it's going to be picked up and played with a shot early from Hernsack into the glove of Mellon, and they'll try it again from the same spot. Wallem versus Stewart. Face-off feeds back. Scardino picks up the puck, feeds it in the corner. Around it goes. Picked up Stewart. Stewart on the backhand tried to get it going. Now it's picked up and played by Justin Diener. Over, it can't connect over to Thornson's. Played now to the stick of Wallem. Wallem with it here, feeding it, going into the boot of Thornton. Perry on the pickup here. Gets through. Picked up Thornton. Thornton in the slot, hands it through. He had some pressure there from Houlihan. Puck's gathered up and played up now as Hernsack throws it, and it's a bouncer going. Wallem will keep tying up Hernsack, tries to play it, still getting tied up. The puck's in the corner, played by Houlihan, now to Hernsack. The puck's loose, back to Stewart. Stewart searching for point, and he chooses right. Over to Scardino. Scardino on the keep. Block shot picked up by Masonoff. Masonoff going up against Houlihan, trying to feed it up. Stewart can't get a hold of it, it's loose, picked up Hess. Changes for the Distillers. Hess gets hit off the play by Scardino, and he connects to Hernsack. Hernsack feeds it over to Houlihan, and he's stopped by Slarks. Slarks still trying to tie him up as the puck is loose in the corner. Picked up by Houlihan with a shot, and it's a bouncer off the shoulder, but recovered by Slarks. The shoulder of Austin Mellon. On a pass up, Lozel shuts it down. Hess trying to put the hit on. Lozel puts it in the corner, but it's going to be shut down by Gratz. Over to Hess. Here comes Hess. Hess gets through Lozel. Goes in, takes a shot, and it's a loose puck. It's going to be picked up. Sarl tries to clear it out. Gratz will pick it up into the neutral zone. Here he is with it here. Gratz going in on a green light. Here he comes in. Going up against Sarl. It's poked. Hess trying to pick it up. Puck's going to be now fed. It's pushed off the play. Now the puck's still loose. Going to be picked up Steele. Steele with it here. Steele looks for Dershel. Dershel down on top of the crease, but the puck is taken away. Kept in by Gratz with a shot. And he nails Dershel, and it gets kicked up into the stands again. As Dershel couldn't get out of the way in time. So a little bit of entanglement here as two teams, the one getting ready to do a change, and Tempest talking to a player as he's going back to his bench saying hello. All right, so face-off's going to be glove side of Chris Burkle in the Tempest defensive zone. 5:39 remaining here in the first period. The puck's still loose. Back and forth it goes. Wallem feeding it over to Thornton. Thornton on the look. Comes back. Thornton's going to hang on to it. Wallem is back with him. Wallem with it here, but it's going to be played. Grizzly there going after it. Now with a look, trying to get something going. The puck is taken away as Bransick tried to feed, but it was taken away by Walla momentarily. Grizzly on the race going up against Bransick. Bransick hanging on to the puck. Will feed it back. And he connects to Travis. Darren Travis with the puck behind the goal line, draws in Brisley. Kiffner coming in, goes on the boards. It's going to be played by Perry. Perry goes to put it in, takes a hit. Now it's picked up by Ventura, feeding it across. No, losing it out. Oh, and Drew's trying to pick it up here. It's going to be picked up Masonoff. Masonoff feeding it right in front of the bench, but it's a bouncer, and it's going to the left of Burkle. Back into the corner it goes. Trying to feed it out. The puck comes back, goes through Diener, comes all the way back, and it's a race as Mellinson comes back. But Mellon picks up. Drew's trying to get a hold of it, and it's a bouncer over. Played. Logar's working to try to get the puck. He kept it in the zone. Now it's going to be picked up Kucharski. Kucharski feeding it, and he connects over to Drews. Drews with a look. Takes a shot off the boards wide. He gathers it back up. On a windup. Takes a shot. It goes across out wide. On the clear, the puck hits the ceiling, so the faceoff stays in the Tempest defensive zone. 4:09. That's a good cleaner. Let's see if it's a clean shot here off a face-off draw. We'll see. Hess on the drop, comes back to Gratz. Gratz hangs on to it, makes himself some room, feeds it. Shot! Just it's blocked in the glove there. Goes up into the safety netting as it was stopped by Burkle, and it kind of went through the glove, and he just followed through on the right up there, and he pushed it way up out of play. Choosing the corner was Steele, and it was a good look and a good stop by Burkle. He reacted well. Logar versus Hess. The puck gets put back. Oh, almost on the turnover here. It's going to be picked up. Logar comes in. He wants to take a look. Takes a shot. Mellon on the shutdown. Face off. Mellon stick side in the defensive zone for the Distillers. Logar versus Hess. It's a bouncer, and it's going to be picked up and played by Bowie Slarks. Goes off a shin pad maybe, redirects, but Dershel picks up. On the pass, going to be an icing against the Distillers. Couldn't make the connection there, and they'll have to try this again, and this time they will go glove side of Austin Mellon in the attacking zone for the Buffalo Tempest. All right, Stewart versus Hess on the drop. It's a bouncer picked up by the Tempest. Goes wide on the shot, rolls off the boards. Bryce Dershel on the pickup here. Still hanging on to it, trying to feed Steele. The puck's a battle right outside of the attacking zone as Lozel's tying it up well on the blue line. It comes back to Brandon Gratz. Gratz with it here. Gratz trying to get in the paint, or in the slot there. Got it taken away. Now picked up Dershel. Dershel hangs on to it. Feeds it back. Steele will pick it up off the boards. It's a bouncer when it got broken up on the stick there. It's going to be Hess trying to go after it. Dershel trying to get underneath. Meanwhile, Stewart is with it. On the stretch pass, just gets out of reach of Hernsack, so it's picked up by Zach Steele. Steele looking to draw Hernsack in, comes back, feeds the pass over to Hess, who comes back. Hess gets through Stewart. Here we go. Now kind of Houlihan's trying to get on Hess. Hess with it here. Hess with the shot blocked, and it's Scardino on the stop. Picked up Dershel. Oh, goes in and out. No goals. It just goes on the pipe there. Steele trying to feed. Dershel on the reach, but comes back to Steele. Steele hands it now. Taking a look up front on the back door. What a stop by Burkle. They blow the play dead, and it might be with the net off, and we have a scrum going in the corner. So there's a fight going on here. Punch is thrown. Officials watching this one go here. Zach Steele going after, and I can't see who. And it will be stopped here. we see Lozo and Steele had gone at it. So both in the penalty there. And that was occurring at the whistle there, so it should just be still in the play there. The play was blown dead as they were going at it. The puck ended up in the corner. I believe the net was tipped off by Burkle on the stop and a strong drive put on by the Distillers. Still sitting 1-0 in favor of the Tempest. 2:35 remaining. Here in the first period, face-off will be center ice as soon as these penalties are assessed here and everything's figured out. Still having some words there between both. Getting ready for some first period, near the end of the first period action here. Still figuring out some of the things there, so an exciting time here for the American Premier Hockey League. The Governor's Cup on the line here, and will Buffalo seal the deal here on a sweep against the Distillers, or will the Distillers force Game 3, which would be the final game tomorrow? I believe puck drop be 1 o'clock tomorrow. If that were the case, we will see how this one plays out here, as we still are awaiting the sort through here. It appears like we were ready for action. So another conference in front of the bench now for the Distillers, trying to figure out some of the calls here. Distillers showing a penalty here. Maybe they're calling the Zach Steele penalty. They got the 2-minute up for that. Maybe they show that it was an instigation or something. Not sure. We'll see if we have any updates online here. All right, so looks like the penalty here will be Zach Steele, unsportsmanlike conduct after all that, and that appears to be it. And the fighting, which we'll see posted up here. All right, here we go. Ready for action here after the hiatus. We'll see Bowie Slarks going up against Kiffner, and he wins it back to Logar. Logar with the puck now. Taking a shot, goes wide, kept by Hernsack. Hernsack with it now, feeds up. High slot, Logar with it. It's a block shot off the skate of Cody Hess, puts it up to the safety netting, and they'll hit the reset and try it again, same side. 2:21 remaining in the first, 1:46 power play for Buffalo. 1-0 the Tempest. Corey Kiffner going up against Bowie Slarks again, trying this again, and he wins at the same spot. Scardino on the keep, feeds it across over to Hernsack. Hernsack coming on almost the goal line to feed over to Melanson. The puck goes back to Kiffner. He feeds back to Scardino. Scardino may go across, and he does. Now working the puck now with the look. Lets it go. Gets some pressure put on by Slarks with Logar. He connects with Hernsack. Hernsack with it now. High slot, feeds it over to the lefty of Scardino, and they're loaded up on one side and leaves it open for Hess to pick up. Hess on the shorthanded effort. He sees Slarks going up. Hess hanging on to it. Hess in. Goes into the corner, trying to get through. And an interference call will be called up against the Tempest. We'll see. Nope. Oh, he's making sure it's even up. So a roughing call by Hess on a non-interference call, so what a good play. So this looks like in this period alone, it's 2 teams versus 1, so we'll see how this one plays out. Congratulations to not letting them play hockey and letting it just be a one-sided game that doesn't ever sharpen skill. But anything for a win, right? All right, here we go. Two-man advantage for a minute 5 on the steal penalty, on the unsportsmanlike, the rough on Hess in the penalty box. So it'll be the 5-on-3 here. Having another conference here. Waiting on a puck drop here. Still in the box, serving a penalty. Spencer Munger on the face-off win, picked up Buffalo. Logar, shot high off the glove, rounds out and clears out into the neutral zone. It's going to be picked up by Logar. Logar with the puck now, here he comes in. Stewart sneaking in. Logar takes a shot, comes out of the chest protector, kept in by Houlihan, skates. Pushed up, Logar with it here. Feeds it across with a look. Shot goes wide, comes around. Houlihan with a one-timer, comes out loose and a score, and you should score when you have the two-man advantage. Everything your way. So just under the 1 minute mark, Buffalo Tempest find themselves up 2-0 with a two-man advantage there. So if 2's your number, go play it on your lottery. You might be successful. Face off, picked up Gratz. Gratz with the puck here, feeds it over to Derschel. Derschel launches it back. Still on the minute 10 of the penalty kill. While I'm on this, trying to pick up the puck there, it's still loose. It was tied up momentarily, but Tempest have it behind goal line, looking for the pass, and they will choose to pass this out. Maybe, oh, they go left. On an icing. Trying to connect there, could not get it. On the pass there, could not get the connection there to Logar, just out of reach. Creates the icing call, face off back into the Buffalo zone with 35.1 seconds remaining here. Corey Kiffner up against Chris Wallem. Sticks out of Chris Burkle in the Tempest zone. Logar picks up, hangs on. Kiffner has the puck here, still on a man advantage here for Buffalo. Mellon picks up, feeds it off the glass. Hernsack stops it in his feet, tying up the effort of Perry, but gives Derschel a chance to pick up. Throwing the puck up ice, could not connect to Wallums. He was stretched out. Now with the pickup here, going in. Lucci there, and now it's given up to Logar. He picks up, tried to feed it one time, caught in the heel. He had to gather it back up. Hernsack feeds to no one, and it's Gratz going up ice with Derschel. Brandon Gratz with the shot early, goes in. Finds the glove of Chris Burkle, who is ready. And he snags it out of the air right at the buzzer. And a stop for Burkle, I believe, because that was at the buzzer. So if not, that was still a heck of a stop put on by Burkle there. So there you are. That is the first period, 2-0. 20 seconds will still be man advantage for Buffalo when we come back. So we'll be right back, see if we have some highlights, and we will finish some of our show here that we couldn't get in the first there, but we will see you here. You are watching the American Premier Hockey League final games here for the Governor Cup up here in Niagara Falls, New York. We'll be right back. All right, got a couple minutes before we start the second period here. So, first goal put on by the point and goal leader, Spencer Hernsack. His 51st on the season. Mike Scardino on the assist, his 18th assist, that coming in 11:56 of the first period. And then it was Anthony Whipple, picked up his 6th of the season. Matthew Stewart's 22nd assist, that coming in with 59 seconds. It was a power play goal put on by the Buffalo Tempest. They are in the lead 2-1. No information on the shots, not seeing it available there. So that's where we stand right now. So good effort put on by the home team here. The Buffalo Tempest in front of a pretty large crowd here coming out to cheer them to see if they can pick up the Governor's Cup here in the Game 2 of the American Premier Hockey League Finals game here up here in Niagara Falls. See the teams taken to the ice. And it was a battle there in Fort Wayne, and it ended up being 4-3, but the work was put on in the first period, 3-1 back in that Saturday game. So a little bit of the same there. They're sitting on a 2-goal lead. So that is their effort put on so far. Two of the best players are here in the league. One being Spencer Hernsack, who picked up that goal there. He is the leader overall with 81 points, now sitting on 82. And the goal leader with 44, well now 51. And on the season so far, all tallied up. So the Distillers have Cody Hess, the assist king, with 43 assists. We'll see if he's a factor in today's effort. He had to serve one of the penalties there. And he picked up a goal in that game as well. And we'll see how that will work out here as they get ready to go center ice. And both of those guys playing very well for their teams. What an effort put on by Buffalo to control that first period like they did in Fort Wayne against the Summit City Distillers. And that was something to see there. So we'll see how each one will play out here. And again, want to thank Bourbon MD for watching this game here and coming in as a late sponsor. So we are proud to have them on board. So this is an effort of skill, effort, dedication, heart, perseverance, and camaraderie has brought us here tonight. Sit back and enjoy. Now getting ready for the second period. 20 minutes on the clock. It is clear, nice ice on the face-off picked up by Buffalo. They dump it into the Summit City zone. Gratz gets through, picks it up on this fresh sheet of ice. Melanson picking up trying to pick up. Dershel gets underneath. And he finds the scoring table out on the backhand, and the face-off will come back into the Summit City zone, and they will face off stick side of Austin Mellon. Still on 7 seconds of power play for Buffalo. Waiting on the face-off, picked up. Cleared down the ice on a bouncer. And it comes all the way back. His tattoo is guarding the door. He comes back, picks up, penalty clear, back to full strength as Hess is now out of the box. Whipple on the puck here, looking for the pass, carries it, dumps it in. It's a bouncer. Mellon pushes into the corner. Melanson going up against Gratz. Gratz feeding it out, caught up there momentarily, but comes back to Dershel. Dershel wants to launch it down ice. And it's taken away by Sorrow on the intention there to Perry. Back to Gratz. Gratz with a look. Comes across, feeds Dershel. Dershel feeding it up ice. Tipped in by Perry. Around it goes. And it's going to be picked up and played by Thornton. Thornton with a look here. Wants to connect. Feeds it. And it's broken up and taken away by Buffalo. Buffalo with a look. And it's blocked. Trying to choose the boards. Kept in by Thornton. Thornton blocked by Perry. The puck's going to be picked up and played. Broken up momentarily. Dershel picks up on the breakup there from Hess. Tattoo on the hit, or on the pickup here, working on the puck. Now it comes back into the Summit City zone. And it comes all the way back and played. And brought up on a look, on a stretch, but broken up. It's going to be tipped up into the corner. Sorrow going in up against Bear. They're trying to pick it up, and it's a feeder to Whipple. And it gets through. Now it's going to be played by Trevis. Whipple picks up, goes in and on the offsides as he put the hit on Bear. Hess picked up the puck. And an offsides on just out on the offsides against the Distillers, but just outside of the attacking zone. 5-on-5 action here. Face off ready. Hess versus Stewart on the puck drop. And the puck is loose, still working for it. It's onto the feet and now picked up by Houlihan. Now it's going to be brought up by Hernsack. Hernsack coming in with a shot, and he just goes wide of the pipes. May have caught a piece of it. Picked up Slark. Slark's coming in, trying to get around Wilkins. Tried to feed Bear, but threw it behind. Picked up Stewart. Stewart throws the pass behind Hernsack. Slarks picks up here in the slot, bringing it in. On the backhand, hits the side of the net, gets the rebound. Slarks picks up here. Throws it back into the corner. Hess has got to leg it out going up against Scardino. Scardino wins the battle by position. Hernsack tried to lop it out and wrap it off the glass, but it goes on to the Distillers bench, and they give it back. The face-off will go glove side. Chris Burkle in the Buffalo's defensive zone. Kucharski on the face-off, trying to feed on the backhand. He had to pick it up. Picked up Madison. Madison with the puck here. Throws it back. Trevis can't get it. Trevis comes back to the spot. Kucharski getting tied up, trying to get a hold of the puck. Drew's with it as there to look for it. He does pick it up as Kucharski's working. Hernsack picks up now. Hernsack lops it up. Picked up as Brancic tied up his player of Houlihan. Picked up by Trevis. The puck dumped in. Snagged by Brancic. Brancic goes over to Kucharski. Here comes Kucharski in. Throws it in. And around it goes. Madison goes up and picks up. Drews will pick up the pass back to him, but Madison had come out. Houlihan with the puck here. Brancic trying to break it up, and here's a battle now coming back as Diener ties up his guy. Picked up Kucharski. Now the puck's going to be picked up Diener. Diener gets it. It's still loose, almost like a face-off here in the circle. It's going to be picked up by Drews. Drews feeds it back to Brancic. Brancic with it here. Looking for the pass. Wraps it off the glass, and he connects over to Kucharski. Kucharski with Sorrow. With a shot. Goes out front. Could not get the rebound to feed Madison as he came in. The puck's going to be kept in by Kucharski. Madison tried to pick up, and he was tied by Sorrow. Now working at it behind the net. Sorrow with it here. Goes to launch it out, and it's going to be kept in by Masonoff. Masonoff with a shot on a stick save put on by Burkle as he went up high. Ventura trying to get it through. It's broken up by Wallen. Wallen with it here. Wallen trying to get it through. Gets through Scardino. Tried to feed the back door to Perry. And the net is off on the attempt there. We'll see a face-off. Might be glove side of Chris Burkle in the Buffalo Tempest defensive zone. 16:07 left here in the second. 2-0 Buffalo. Corey Kiffner up against Chris Wallem on the puck drop. Pick it up. Oh, on a fan there, and Sorrow couldn't get a hold of it. It's going to be picked up by Thornton, trying to feed in the slot. Wallem picked up on the backhand on a stop by Burkle. Picked up Masonoff. Masonoff feeds it over to Diener. Diener now with a look. Tried to feed it through there. Picked up by Tempest. Kiffner tried to push it up, and he did recover. Now it's back, picked up, and here we come now, looking. Perry feeding it. Oh, he goes behind Thornton. Thornton trying to pick it up. Now it's gathered up by Tempest, and here they come up with a head of steam. 3-on-2 developing. Up front with a shot. Goes wide, out into the corner. It's going to be Kiffner trying to get a hold of it. On a hit put on. All alone back is Thornton. Thornton taking some hit, trying to get the puck going here. Lolo feeds it back into the corner. Picked up by Aaron Ventura. Turned over now by Distillers. Hanging on to it is Hess. Poked up, now picked up by Ventura. Coming up, it's 2-on-1 developing here. It's Aaron Ventura trying to hang on to it. Spins in the corner. Comes out with a puck. He's going up against Masonoff. Now picked up by the Distillers. Hess will try to finish what he started here. Trying to get through. Hess coming in. Working into the boards. Puck's loose. Picked up Buffalo. Picked up into the neutral zone by Diener. Puts it into the corner. Gathered up by Buffalo on the delayed offside. Here's Buffalo with a look. On the stretch pass. They connect. And it's turned over here as Melanson did pick it up. And a hit put on Lozo in the back. And a penalty coming. as Steele had gone down. Salazzo in the penalty box on a rough. Face-off will be down in Buffalo's defensive zone. And Brian Lozel's not happy about it. All right, here we go on the face-off. Stick side of Burkle. Logar versus Slarks. Tempest come out. Sorrow feeds it around. Whipple on the pickup here. Trying to tie it up. Slarks puts body on. Feeds it over to Steele. Steele with it here. Steele with a shot on a feeder. It's broken up. Picked up by Travis. Back to Steele. Steele feeds over to Brancic. Brancic hanging on. Back over to Steele. Steele with it here. Steele feeding across. Hess back to Brancic. Brancic has to check back up. Feeds back. Hess lets it go. Goes back to Slark. Slark's with it here. Slark looking to feed. Feeds it. Oh, out of the reach. Steele couldn't hang on. He had it on the tip of the stick, and now it's a attempt now as Wemple coming up the ice. Looking for the pass, and he throws it back to the defense of Sorrow. Sorrow throws it all the way down on a clear, and it's going to be picked up by David Brancic. Now in motion, picked up Hess. Hess with the puck here. Here he comes up ice now. On the man advantage for the Distillers for another 58 seconds. Hess with it now, coming all the way in, trying to feed it. And looking for it on a stop, goes all the way into the paint. It's going to be gathered up by Travis. Travis with it here. Travis feeds it across over to Hess. Hess with a look here. Sorrow goes down, and it's going to be picked up and cleared on the attempt there as Hernsack gets rid of it. Now the puck is picked up, stopped by Austin Mellon. Brancic on the pickup here. Looking up ice, feeds it. Gets it over to Slark. Slark's coming in now. Looks for Wallem. Scardino goes down on the stop. Slarks gets the rebound. Hangs on to it in the corner. Feeds it over to Wallem. Wallem's got to pick it up in the corner. He's going to hang on to it, throws it back to Slark. Slark's here now with Perry up in the paint. And the puck comes up to Steele. Steele hanging on, goes over to Brancic. Brancic this time with a look, taking a shot! Almost on a redirect. Scardino shot down Slark's effort. Now coming up ice, just a few seconds remaining here. Brancic on the takeaway. Brancic looks for the pass. He throws it right over to Wallem in front of the Distillers bench. Wallem's got to pick it back up, feeds it in the corner, and it's a leg out here by Thornton, turned over. For a second, picked up, back to full strength. Thornton with a look, takes a lop and tries to get something there. Wallem goes down, picked up Perry. Perry with it here. Perry hanging on, he's double teamed, picked up, and it is another chance here. And it's going to be kept by Colucci there, but Derschel just spoiling him there. The puck's loose into the corner. Bryce Derschel coming back to pick it up, and he hangs on to it. Feeds it right in front of the bench, off the board. It's going to be Perry going after, but he's almost double teamed. Wilkins is going to get back. Perry on the backhand, goes wide. Back into the corner, rounds out, comes up, and it's going to be picked up by Houlihan. Now it's going to be cleared up. Derschel on the stop. Sorrow goes to clear, waiting on, and it hits the ceiling as Derschel tries to get it up into the corner there, waiting on the change there from the Distillers bench. Finds the ceiling here. Buffalo face off just outside of the defensive zone for the Tempest. Logar versus Kucharski on the puck draw. Face-off win for the Distillers. Picked up Diener. Diener throws it in and comes out of the corner. Drews goes in after it. Drops it back to Kucharski with a quick shot. Save off the stick. Goes up into the glass. It's going to be kept in Diener. Diener taking a shot, and it hops right into the glove. And Chris Burkle with 11:22 in the second. Yet to play. Face-off his stick side in the Buffalo's defensive zone. Slarks versus Logar, picked up Hess. Hess trying to feed it across, and he does to Mason off with a shot. Broken up by Sorrell's stick, almost created a chance there for the Distillers. And the action behind the net Goes into the corner. It's going to be kept in. Broken up on an attempt there it was kept in by Mason. Off picked up Hess. Hess trying to feed it again. It's a bouncer going across. Steele going after it. And Lozo brings it back. It's a soft pass and he connects. Logar feeding it off the boards, but it's going to be turned over. Mason off, puts it back. Gathered back up by Sorrow. Sorrow tries to launch it out, but he finds Hess. Hess with a look. Hess trying to come in. Steele with a shot! And it's stopped, but it's rode on top of the net for stop. The net was tipped off, I think, but Burkle lost his stick. Good effort put on the old 1-2 put on by the Distillers, and an even better stop by Burkle to keep this 2-0. Seeing what the officials calling here, waiting for the puck drop here. The other head referee made a correction there, kept it in the zone here. On the face-off, picked up Wilkins, drops it back in the corner. Connects to Whipple. Whipple looking for the pass, and he does over to Houlihan. Houlihan coming all the way across. Shot blocked up into the safety netting. We'll see a face-off glove side of Austin Mellon. Stewart versus Wallem in the Distillers defensive zone. Moses Ventura on the keep. Domisek looking for it. Wallem pushes up. Picked up Moses Ventura. Feeds it across. He's got to pick it back up. Perry almost the spoiler there. Comes back and it's going to be played Trevis. Trevis over to Thornton. Gets it through Moses Ventura. Trying to hang on to it on a dive play, but a trip call coming up. On a delayed penalty here on a tripping call against Buffalo, and a chance for the Distillers to try to make something happen here near the halfway mark. 10 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here in the second period. Buffalo 2-0. Face off into the defensive zone for the Tempest, but they'll be a man down. On the face-off, still for the taking. Buffalo comes out with it, and they go to clear it. Catches the lineman's skate. Brancic picks up, feeds it back behind on the boards, behind the net. Kept in. Tied up by Steele as he's tied up with Dominsack. Hess trying to get in to get it. Steele there. It's tied up still at his feet. The puck goes in the corner. Played Trevis. Trevis trying to get a hold of it. Scardino working on it. Comes out Hess. Hess looking on the backhand. Feeds the back door, and the door was shut down. The pass to Slarks. Now it's going to be picked up by Brancic as he's back into the neutral zone. Next with Steele. Steele coming in now. Trevis stays back. Steele with a look. Feeds over to Hess. Hess tries to pick it up with the backhand. Waits for it off the boards. Over to Brancic. Brancic here with it. Feeds it to Hess. Hess looking there in the top of the slot. Or the low slot, I should say. On the pass to Colucci from Dominsack was spoiled by Brancic. Brancic now with the puck. On the wind-up, fake, comes in. Nobody up in the slot waiting on the change. Brancic with a look, takes a shot, goes off the stick of Hess, and Brancic on the keep as the puck comes back to him and he hangs on to it. Velatri trying to tie him up here. Brancic feeding, it's a bouncer blocker save there, put on by Burkle, gathered up by Trevis. Trevis here with it now, feeds to Hess. Hess now. Hess looking, Slarks is there on the screen. And another blocker stop put on by Burkle, sends it up to the safety netting. 37 seconds, power play for Summit City. Face-off. Stewart versus Wallem, face-off circle. Wallem's thrown out. It's going to be picked up by Thornton. Trevor Thornton now picking up, drops it back to Gratz. Brandon Gratz with a shot and a stop there by Burkle, and they'll try it again. On the face-off, picked up by Tempest, feeding it back to Brandon Gratz. Gratz with it here. Gratz with a look, goes wide, trying to feed. Kept in by Bryce Derschel. Derschel here with it, 24 seconds on power play for the Distillers. Thornton feeding it in the corner over to Derschel. Goes across over to Gratz. Gratz picks it up. Gratz with a look. Block stop there put on. Trying to get it out with Stewart. Gratz with another shot. Looking for it. Burkle hanging on. 9 seconds man advantage for the Distillers. Facing off stick side of Chris Burkle. 8:15 left here in the second period. 2-0 Buffalo. Ready for face-off. It's the Stewart Wallem show again. Face-off's going to be picked up as Hornsack tried to get rid of it. Gratz feeds it across to Derschel. Rides up off the stick, pushes out in the neutral, but he gathers it back up. Gratz with it back into the defensive zone. Feeds it over to Thornton in the feet. Here we go. Thornton going up now. Gets it across with a shot wide on the keep. Wallem's going after it, trying to hang on to it. He does. Just keeps it in and puts it on target slow. But now the puck comes back to Hornsack. Hornsack now coming up the ice, trying to get through Gratz. He's got to gather himself back and try to play it. Gratz with the puck now. Gratz gets through, going against Houlihan. Houlihan's all over him. Gratz picks up now. He tried to get it going, but Houlihan on the steal here. Gets it over, catches it in the backhand of Walzel. He hangs on to it. Shot across, sticked up onto the board. It's going to be picked up. Scardino feeding it back. It's going to be now picked up. Gratz with it here. Gratz on the stretch pass. And couldn't connect to Perry. Perry was just setting up, and it was a quick look there from Gratzy and could not connect. And a face-off in the defensive zone on the icing call against Summit City. Stick side, Boston Mellon. Andrew Logar versus Chris Wallem in the circle. Win that to Tempest. Now a one-time shot feeding over to Lossell. And shut down by Mellon, and we'll see a face-off glove side. So a good penalty kill for Buffalo. Face-off. On the drop, picked up Buffalo. Looking to get something quick. They did get a shot on. Mason off on the rebound. Lops it back. It's a bouncer back on an icing call against Summit City. And they will try this again. And they choose stick side. Logar versus Hess on the puck drop in the defensive zone for Summit City. Picked up. There's a battle. Hess loses his lid there. The puck got caught in the outside of the net there, on the side there. Loses his lid, so penalty coming up against on the bucket coming off there. Logar going in the penalty box there. Not happy about it, trying to ask what he did wrong there. So Andrew Logar in the box. It's Logar, one of the better face-off kings there, winning a lot of face-off for Buffalo, especially when they need it. Finds himself in the box here. Hornsack taking his spot against Slarks. Slarks there. Face-off win. Picked up Rancic. Rancic with a look. With a snap shot! It's still loose. Hornsack feeds it across. 2-on-1 coming. On the shorthander. Houlihan with it here. Houlihan feeds over to Hornsack, but gets him in the feet. Broken up. As Bransick comes across the effort put on by Hernsack. Bransick with it here, connects to Wallem, but gets through. And an icing. Wallem claims that he got a piece of the stick or a puck there, and they say no. So an icing call against the Distillers as they are on the power play. They have a minute 38 of that, but the officials confer, and they decide to go center ice. With 6:42 here in the second period, man advantage Distillers down by a couple of goals, and they got to find one here. The Buffalo wants to keep it where it's at. On the face-off wins was Summit City. Drews picks up, feeds over to Trebas. Trebas now connects over to Perry. Perry now with it. Perry bringing it in, feeds over to Thornson's, tipped up. Trebas on the keep, but he keeps it by hand, and it's going to be turned over now as Hernsack's going to come back, go into the corner to pick it up against Trebas. Buffalo both in the corner. Gives a chance now for Thornton with it here. Trevor Thornton on the look. Sees Wallem up ice as well as Devin Perry. Comes back to Trebas. Trebas feeds it over to Wallem. Wallem here. Wallem bringing it in. Goes in the corner, retreats. Hanging on to the puck. Changes it up. Tattoo all over him. Now feeding it. Perry there almost connected on a good attempt there. Drew's looking for it. Now the puck's going to be picked up. Gratz comes back. 2-on-1 developing here. Oh, on the bouncer, out of reach. Played by Hernsack as it was almost an effort. The puck's a bouncer, but gathered up and held by Mellon. Still put on target on a shorthanded effort put on by Buffalo. 37 seconds on the power play for the Distillers. Kyle Dominsack, Cody Hess on the face-off, glove side of Austin Mellon. Picked up by the Distillers. David Bransick with it. Connects over to Wallem. Steele. Steele going in. Steele with a look. Goes behind. Hess will pick up. Hess hangs on to it. Hess with the feeder on the back door. Splits through. Picked up Steele. Goes over to Bransick. Bransick feeds to Hess. Back up slot to Slarks. Goes down. Try to connect. Caught in the heel. Steele feeds it up, but it's back into the neutral. Picked up by Bransick. Bransick going in. Bransick's pushed off the play by Dominsack, but hangs on to the puck. Feeds it over to Hess. Hess with a look. Trying to feed. Slark's trying to get it going. It's still loose. On the stretch out there, the puck is covered. And now we're going to see some action here, and hopefully it stays, let's see. At the bottom of the pile, we do see Chris Burkle kind of not landed on, so thank goodness he didn't get hammered in any of that. But it was, the puck was loose and he was searching for it. So it created a melee right there in the paint. Net was tipped off, but he survives. .458 left here in the second period. Face-off just outside of the defensive zone for Buffalo. Josh Kucharski going up against Corey Kiffner. Kiffner wins it back, but it's loose. Spencer Munger plays it back. Picked up Scardino. Tied up Drews. Still with the puck here. Trying to get it going. Still with it. Feeds it. Gratz feeds it back. Comes back from Drews. Goes to Kucharski. Now picked up Buffalo. Aaron Ventura gets a piece of it. Gratz gathers it up. Right center ice. Tried to get in as Munger tried to get out. Was Gratz on the puck there? We'll see a face-off just outside of the attacking zone here on a line change for both. 4:27, that's a big block Chevy. Remaining here in the second period, 2-0 so far, Buffalo. Face off just outside the attacking zone. On the drop, picked up Buffalo, but it's loose. Kept in off the skate there of Perry. With the shot, wraps around from Thornson's effort. Diener coming in up against Whipple. The pass is turned over, though, to Wallem. Wallem trying to get through, gets hit off the play. Perry trying to pick it up. Buffalo with it now. Now carrying it up. Zloger trying to clear it out, and a goal. Could not pick it up. Picked up the loose puck, high slot, or low slot. Buffalo up 3-0 up against the Summit City Distillers. So leading the way, picking the loose puck up was Melanson. He found he picked up one, I believe, at least down in Fort Wayne. So he got to put a goal on for the home crowd, and he's pumped up. Look at him out there, ready for more. Face-off, center ice. That coming in at 15 minutes and 3 seconds of the second period. On the face-off, Slark's trying to tie up his guy, leaves the puck loose. Melanson now going after it in the corner. Skates through the attempted hit put on by Diener. Diener picks up the puck. Whipple puts the hit on him, leaves the puck go. It's going to be picked up now by Masonoff. Momentarily, it was in the hands of Logar. On the pass there attempted, it was stolen by Melanson. Attempt to Hess as he stretched out. Picked up Diener. Diener sees Hess now, pinches it on the boards, but Hess gathers it up. Hess takes the hit from Whipple, turns the puck over. Steele picks it up as it was turned over to Diener momentarily. Going after now, Hernsack trying to go in. Hess takes the puck away. Here he goes, trying to get it through. And he's feeding it on the boards. Picked up by Steele. Steele going up against Ventura. Takes a shot. Around it goes into the corner. Masonoff will pick up here. Masonoff getting in. Takes a hit there from Ventura. The puck comes around over to Brancic. Brancic feeds it across. Off the boards. Picks up Steele. Steele with a look. Steele fans on it. Gets it back. Feeds it. Goes on a shot! And it's shut down as Hess's attempt there. Brancic has to pick it up into the neutral zone from Steele's look there. 2:50 remaining. Pass connected. Picked up Trebas. Trebas with it here. Hess in motion. Picked up routing around. Slarks feeds it right in front of the Tempest bench. Hernsack trying to spoil it here. It's pushed into the zone by Trebas. Trebas coming in. Takes a shot loose. Picked up by, I think, Moses Ventura. The puck's right in front of the bench. And a too many men call. Power play coming for Buffalo. And it's all their way so far. 3-0. Man advantage coming up at 17:35. So the home crowd feeling it here. They're feeling a cup win with 22 minutes and 25 seconds. But will the Distillers spoil it? They've got a long way to go here to try to get this one tied up here. Right now it's standing 3-0 Buffalo. Boston Mellon picked up Melanson. Gets back over. Tempest hanging on to it here. On a look, Logar with it now. Feeding it up to Lozo. Lozo gets it out of the zone, and they do call it on the offsides as he drug it back. Just couldn't hang on to it. He was playing real tight on the blue line. Quarterback position looking for the spot. No face-off center ice. 2:13 remaining here. 1:48 on the man advantage for Buffalo. Face-off. Kiffner versus Hess on the drop. And a stick had broke. Now it's going to be turned over, played by Hess. Hess with it now, and he's got Hernsack all over him. Hess still gets it in. Hess with the keeper dump into the corner, picked up Steele. Steele with a quick launch, finds the glove of Burkle as Hess tried to set up there. And they're bouncing him around right in front of the crease there. Face-off's going to be stick side of Burkle in the Buffalo defensive zone. Working off a minute 21 of the too many men against the Distillers. Wallem will take the drop here. And it's picked up Buffalo as he went up against Domensack. Whipple with the carry here. Pops it into the corner, picked up by Buffalo maybe. Bud working along the board. Perry putting a tie up on his guy. Waiting as Whipple comes in against Gratz. The puck's going to be tied up along the boards there. Eating some clock out. Buffalo with it high in mid slot, taking a shot. Shoulder save, picked up on the rebound. Gratz, saved by Mellon. Dominsek picks up the clear there. And Gratz with it here. Gratz takes the hit. Now he's tripping. Buffalo gets it. And they tie Whipple. Diener tying Whipple up, trying to get control. Dominsek on the pickup, feeds it around. Houlihan's got to pick it up there, and he gets it on the blue line there, and it's going to be turned over. Wallem feeds it back. It's going to connect to Perry. Perry with it here. Perry feeding it. Saw could not connect to Wallem. An easy pickup there by Buffalo, and here they come up ice. Just under the minute mark. Shot wide. Rounds out of the corner. Dominsek picks it up. Feeds the corner. Off the glass. Going to be picked up Houlihan. That was from Whipple. Houlihan hanging on. Looking for a route. Probably choose the slot, and he does. He's going to try to wrist it. And it's shut down by Austin Mellon. Back to even strength, but only 18.7 seconds remaining. Face off in the defensive zone for Summit City. Mellon. Gratz will leg this one out, pick it up right in front of the crease. Washed. It's going to be Lowe's racing. And the second period won by the home team. They picked up one goal, making it 3-0 so far. And it's a tall order for the Distillers, but what's on tap for the third period? We'll wait and see, and we'll see if they can come out and pick up three. 3 was put against them, 3 can be put up by them. So we'll see how they do. But it is Buffalo tasting that cup here, so we'll see if Summit City can just spoil that. We'll be right back with third period action. You're watching the American Premier Hockey League playoffs here up in Niagara Falls. We'll be right back. just under the 2-minute mark before the third period starts here. Second period, a lone goal put on by Jason Mellinson, his 30th of the season. Andrew Logar's 30th assist coming in at 4 minutes and 7 seconds of the second period. Penalties in the first. Brian Loza with a high sticking. At 13:45, Devin Perry picked up a tripping at 12:44. Zach Steele with an unsportsmanlike at 2:34. And also a fighting as well with Brian Lozel. Cody Hess picked up a roughing. That carried over into the second period. Brian Lozel gets a roughing at 14:34 of the second. Kyle Wilkins gets a 2-minute 4 tripping at 10:06. Andrew Logar with a slashing at 7:04. And too many men put on at 2:25. So penalties are usually you see a lot in the second, but it was the first all the penalties there. But we'll see how this third period plays out here as we get ready to see third period action. 20 minutes left here in regulation. And it is Buffalo that is tasting that Governor's Cup. They want to get through this 20-minute period cleanly to pick up that victory in front of the home crowd. If the Summit City Distillers can answer and tie this one up and come out maybe with a victory, there'll be a game tomorrow. If not, it is it. This is for it all here. We see the clock ticking down, getting ready for third period action. All right, 20 minutes on the clock, fresh sheet of ice, face off, center ice. Slarks wins it back. Hess will pick it up back into the slot as it comes all the way up. It's going to be played as it was touched up and played by Parker Rutherford, who is in the net now. Puck dumped off the glass by Hess, chasing after. Whipple picks up, lops it into the neutral zone. Just gets through the stick of Travis. Travis picks up. Logar putting the pressure on. He retreats, gives it up to Bransick. Bransick coming up bench side, hanging on to the puck. Goes against Logar, comes through the double. Whipple gets knocked down by Logar. And the puck kind of dies in the wetness. Recovered by Bransick. Tries to feed a shot. Travis on the keep, rolls over his stick again. It's going to be picked up by Zach Steele. Steele with it here. Steele coming in, gets through Hernsack. Steele in the slot, taking a look. It's a blocked shot. He's caught the feet of Scardino. Now here comes Buffalo up the ice with an attempt. Picked up by Houlihan. Houlihan taking a look. Wallem breaks it up. Hernsack trying to get it in. Derschel's trying to feed it back, and he does into the feet of Bransick. Bransick retreats back. Bowie Slarks up high. Puck is getting caught in the water here. Hernsack put the pressure on Bransick, still trying to hang on to it. Cannot get a hold of it. Hernsack on the turnover, feeds it over to Houlihan. Now it's broken up by Derschel. In the corner it goes, picked up by Bowie Slarks. Here comes Slarks up the ice. Scott Stewart with him, and it dies right in the water again. Gratz now picking up. Gratz coming in. It's broken up right by Sorrow. Puck's loose. It's a bouncer. Thornton trying to tie up this guy while I'm trying to free up the puck here. It's going to be kept by Perry. Perry with it here, trying to feed it through. Gets it through Hernsack. And it is worked in the corner by Buffalo. Gratz on the keep. Keeps it in the zone. Hernsack can't hang on to it. Thornton picked up, tried to feed Perry. Tattoo will pick it up here. Tattoo tries to get it out. Derschel on the keep. Now it's in the neutral zone. Derschel searching for it in the air. Put in the zone. Back down it goes. Gathered up by Sorrow. Hernsack picks up the pass here. Hernsack backhands it out. Picked up, turned over by Perry. Perry going in. Up against Sorrow. Perry with the puck. Looking to feed. And he does at the back door. Kucharski there. Kucharski was trying to pick it up. Penalty coming. With a shot. And a stop there as Drews tried to pick it up. And he's pushed by Sorrow in the corner of the net. Throws the net off, but stopped by Burkle. Well, welcome Parker Rutherford in the net for the Summit City Distillers. They will face off just outside of the defensive zone of Buffalo. Well, there's a call. Slash of the high stick. So offsetting penalties. And there's a fight right at the bench of Buffalo. Hernsack is getting a fight now. He's down on the ice up against Perry. And it's a battle here now in the center ice as Madison had tangled up with somebody on the bench there, and it's come out right in front of the scoring table. She goes up against Sorrow here in the end. The officials are trying to break it up here. Madison showing the door there. He's ejected from the game on a DQ. So as this started out on an offsetting penalty, we're going to see how this one may come in the favor of Buffalo. And this coming in at 2 minutes and 41 seconds of the third period. See Hernsack in the penalty box for Buffalo. See who goes in the box for the Distillers. Still working on that. So it's see how this one's still sorting itself out. Hernsack's not too mad in the box. He's done his part, picked up the first goal, and he's sitting on the game winner right now, unless Summit City can answer. But nobody wants to be watching the action here, so it'll take them a minute to sort this one out. So here we are up in Niagara Falls. World famous. Everybody knows Niagara Falls. Playing at the Hyde Park ice rink here. This will definitely give a chance for the ice to come back around. The puck dying in both zones, kind of in a little bit of water here, but now the ice looks good. Still see a couple little water spots. We'll see if that's a factor when this game resumes. Well, as heated as the action was, it may have almost melted the ice there, so. But it's coming around. I want to thank all the fans throughout this entire season, the 2024-2025 American Premier Hockey League efforts here. It's come down to this, the Summit City Distillers versus the Buffalo Tempest. And what a game it's been so far. Buffalo had a very good season here, and they are hoping to be rewarded here in 12 minutes and 41 seconds. Or 17-19, 12:41 is what's, or 2:41. Boy, I'm still living in the in the moment there. Just two teams that haven't seen each other at all during the season come down to this in the end. Officials are still figuring it out here. typical here. Working to get it sorted out. Give a chance to thank the sponsors with the Summit City Distillers, the Complete Health, Edwin Co., Element Energy, the Window Doctor, the EMS Group, Culture Gym, Kickin' Country, QR Stone, Exclusive Exteriors, and the Bourbon MD.
Did you see what started it over there with Madison?
No, I'm not sure if he was scooting by the bench and some things got pretty heated there, but saw the beginning of the end there for his effort today, so not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if someone on the bench grabbed him or if he went into the bench. It's been a while since I've seen anything like that.
Yeah, so.
And then Perry and I forget the guy's name. I believe it was 19.
Hernsack, yeah.
Hernsack, yeah.
The league's point leader, goal leader. And he picked up another point here, getting the first goal for Buffalo. And he's hoping that that's all it takes.
It's going to be interesting to see what comes of it. I'll keep you updated on that.
Alrighty. Is anything posted yet on the league site?
I'm looking right now. Nope, nothing yet. I think the guy who puts all that into the computer is still on the ice.
Yeah.
He just gave the paperwork to the refs and go, here, you fill it out.
Fill it out and I'll get it all official. I'm your play-by-play, Bryce Ryder, talking with Assistant General Manager Ed Halanek.
I will say that, the head official is the head of officiating for the league commissioners in the house, naturally, given the importance of the game, and it's.
Yeah, I think they'll get it right here.
I wish I had replay on our equipment here, but unfortunately, I'm doing as good as I can with the lagging feed. It's
Yeah, it's hopefully you're not getting too much disruptions back home or wherever you are watching this game. Glad you're tuning in.
I am watching the live chat, and people are saying it's lagging, and I got people saying, well, at least we got something, so be happy for that. So
yeah,
there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying my best with what we have.
Well, at least we'll give you this American Premier Hockey League's final games here up in Buffalo, and glad to do it. Bring the trip up here.
Yeah, the drive over wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
Driving through Ohio is always bad.
Yeah.
It's such a long part of the trip.
I got brothers that live in Ohio, but I do hate driving through it. But I love when I see Pennsylvania. And
oh, yeah.
love it up here in New York. It's especially, when you're out seeing nature's beauty, and everyone thinks New York is the city, and there's beautiful parts of it, the Hudson Valley and so forth, but New York's a beautiful state.
Yeah, driving up through New York, absolute beautiful.
Yeah.
We got hotels up in Canada, and I'll tell you, the difference between the Canadian side and the American side, amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Today, it really is. And, I'm not trying to make a statement about this city here in the U.S.,
but it should be fitting because they are the creators of this great sport that we love to watch. It's fast-paced. It's action. I've heard people say hockey's a game of mistakes. The puck gets turned over, advantage to another team's effort, but it goes both ways. And it's so fast. And the amazing capability of what ice skates can do when you're on the ice just makes it exciting for fans.
Before I joined the team, I always thought that running the camera for this would be just, back and forth and, easy enough. No, it is so easy to lose that puck through the screen that I'm working on.
Yeah. All right. 5 minutes on the board there. We'll wait to see what the league's got posted or what they get posted on the league's website. Face-off will be in the defensive zone for the Distillers. See some 5-on-4 here.
I will say to the people watching, if I am behind on the camera, I apologize. It's trying to track down what those penalties were.
All right, chime in when you see it. All right, waiting on the puck drop here. Official's getting his strap there on his helmet there. Corey Kiffner up against Cody Hess. Cody Hess pushes it up, trying to steal it there, but now Cody Hess hangs on to it as he tried to get it from Logar. Feeds up to Zach Steele. Steele coming in, hangs on, feeds it to Hess. Hess tried to push it in there. Stopped by Burkle. Backdoor effort, just hops over the stick of Steele. Now it's going to be picked up, played by Buffalo. Kiffner picks up the pass from Colucci. It's dumped in and around it goes. Logar on the pick up here. Feeds it back into the corner. Kiffner gets through his stick. Colucci picks up the pass here. Goes over to Lozel. Logar with a look, goes back. Tried to feed it and got right, just a little wide of the slot there. Picked up on a one-timer effort was Lozel, but he's going to pick up the attempted clear, put on. Feeds it across to Melanson. Now picked up with a shot, goes wide. Colucci picks it up, rounds out of the corner, feeds it, but it's broken up by Steele. Steele bringing it up, bringing it slow, allowing the change for the Distillers. Zach Steele comes, oh, he's going to bring it back into the neutral, backhands it into the zone. Logar on the spoil there. Colucci picks up the puck here behind the net and drops it. Now looking to bring it up in will be Houlihan. Houlihan coming in. Getting some spoil here. Trevis still hanging on to it. Goes in the backhand. Turnover Wallem. Wallem hanging on to it. Goes to clear it up to Slarks. Goes out of reach. Come back, picked up. Colucci will pick it up now. Spoiled almost by Brancic. Now turned, Wallem couldn't hang on. Domensek picks up. Domensek looks to feed. High slot. With the look here from Houlihan. Poked by Wallem. Still held on. Stopped by Rutherford. Picked up Brancic in the corner. 3:13 on the man advantage for Buffalo. On the stretch pass. Connected to Slarks. Puts it in the zone. Turned over by Lozel. As Wallem tried to pick up Whipple with the puck now. Trying to set up the play. Drops it back to Colucci. Colucci couldn't hang on. Picked up Wallem. Wallem trying to feed it to Slark, but he throws it behind him as Slark was advancing. Brancic will pick it up, and he's getting run by Whipple, but he feeds it over to Derschel. Derschel stretches it up ice on a clear here. And it's stopped by Burkle. And here we go. Sorrow with the puck. It's broken up by Benson. Benson's tying up. Derschel feeds it over across. He took it from Scardino. Drew's with it here, going in with Benson. Or Jensen Bear. Trying to get right up in front. Still hanging on to his Drew. Over to Derschel. Derschel with a shot and a stop. Goes up into the corner. Jensen Bear into the corner. Hanging on to the puck. Gets thrown around, and it's going to be cleared out. But kept in by Gratz. Gratz with the look. Hits the shin pad. Gets the rebound. Taking another look. Waits. Trying to make room. Keeps it in with the feet. Now it's going to be thrown up. Whipple's going to pick up Derschel's the only one back. The pass goes over. It's going to be pushed in the corner by Houlihan. Houlihan gets tied up, stick with Derschel. Pushed off the play. Kept in possession by Buffalo. Scarnito finds the glove of Parker Rutherford. And the face-off will be his stick side with 1:49 remaining on the major of the Distillers. Face-off in the defensive zone for Summit City. 14:08 remaining of the third. 3-0 Buffalo. They're looking at 5 minutes and 5:52, looking at 14:08 to hoist the cup.
So far on the penalties, we got Matt Stewart from Buffalo, high sticking 2 minutes. Rain Butterworth from Buffalo, game misconduct 10 minutes. Spencer Hernschak from Buffalo, roughing 2 minutes. Ryan Madison from Summit City, headbutting for 10 minutes. Rain Butterworth from Buffalo, fighting 5 minutes. Ryan Madison from Summit City, fighting 5 minutes. And Devin Perry from Summit City for unsportsmanlike conduct, 2 minutes. If it updates anymore, I'll let you know.
Oh, that's a mouthful there. Good stop put on by Parker Rutherford as we saw the attempt there put on by Jason Melanson as he tried to feed one in there. Kiffner with it now, drops it back, but it's broken up. It's Hernsek's back in the action here. Puts it in the zone. Diener going after Kiffner. Kiffner hanging on to it, looking. And he's going to feed it to Hernsack. Hernsack with it here. So he hangs on, feeds it across. Hernsack gets the puck back. Feeding it, splits through Lozo on the keep, keeps it in. Still in possession. Buffalo setting up here. Hernsack with the puck. And he's going to hang on to it going up against Hess. Hernsack still with it. Goes about goal line. Takes a shot. Goes high. Hits off the glass. Logar on the keep. Hernsack in motion with it. Goes to Logar. Try to get it back to Hernsack, and he does. Hernsack goes over to Lozo. Lozo with a look. Taking a shot. And it's shouldered up out of play over the safety netting by Parker Rutherford. Face off stick side. 37 seconds on the penalty kill for Summit City.
We do have some updates. We have Devin Perry from Summit City. Game misconduct 10 minutes. These are all out of order now. I'm not sure if I mentioned the Rain Butterworth game misconduct 10 minutes. We've got Devin Perry roughing 2 minutes. Devin Perry fighting 5 minutes.
All right, so here we are. Face off going to be in the Distillers zone. They'll go glove side of Parker Rutherford. On the face-off, it is going to be kept by Buffalo. Just on the blue line. On the backhand, Stewart puts it around the corner. Buffalo working on it to keep it. It's going to be played up now. Wallen will gather it up here as Travis forced it out. Slark's got to try to leg it out against Scardino. He connects over to Colucci. Now picked up by Whipple. Now bringing it in. Drops it over. Stewart picks up on a block. Picked up by Slarks. On the clear there, it's picked up by Scardino in the middle. Right center ice, Colucci gets it on an offsides call. Buffalo, 5 seconds on the power play left for Buffalo. They will face off just outside of the attacking zone, stick side of Parker Rutherford. On the face-off, pick it up Buffalo. Whipple with it. Feeds it across. Goes over to Wilkins. Coming right out of the box. It's going to be Kucharski. Bear feeds back. Kucharski's tied up there. Goes down. Moses Ventura picks up, throws it back around. Now working it. Whipple. Getting some pressure from Bear. Coming up is Kucharski. Wraps up off the glass. Caught it. Well, Branchie couldn't get it in the feet. Houlihan going after it, going up against Trebas. And they got a whistle on an icing call. Well, they go center ice. They got a confusion here between head ref and a linesman. .11:51 on the clock here in the third up at Niagara Falls, the home of the Buffalo Tempest. Face-off center ice. Face-off won by the Distillers. Picked up Gratz, feeds it over to Derschel, back to Gratz. Gratz with it here. Gratz gathering up, goes back to Derschel. Derschel feeds it up, gets into the hands of Drews. Drews leaves it to Hess. Hess coming up now. Puck gets out of the stick and turned over, picked up Hernsack. He drops it back. Picked up Sorrow. Sorrow feeds it up to Hernsack. Hernsack coming in center ice, trying to pick the slot there. Broken up by Derschel. Feed by Gratz, comes in and out on a stop by Parker Rutherford. Kept in by Sorrow on the tomahawk. It's a bouncer, and it's shut down by Rutherford.
You know, Bryce, I'm not so sure we're not going to be done with the festivities of the game.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. One team starts to really, lose, when it gets out of reach, then you kind of just get, deflated. So let's see if Distillers can continue to keep on playing, because they are. Steinforth tying up his guy along the boards here. Logar tying up Wallem as the puck is sitting there. The stick had come out. penalty coming up against, on an elbow call, up against Buffalo, I believe.
I will say for the Distillers, this team does not give up. They hate losing, and they don't give up.
Well, it's against Wallem, so another power play coming for Buffalo, so it's going their way, and they're all smiles on the ice here as it's almost the halfway mark. Drawing penalties, and Distillers see themselves in the box here for that 5 minute. Now 2 minute put up. But Parker Rutherford has come to play on the face-off. It's going to be picked up by the Distillers off the glass. It's going to connect over to Steele. Hess going in with Steele. Trying to get a shot going. Steele working for it. He comes out over to Slark. Slark's with it here. On the shorthanded effort. Picked up on a shot. Looking for it. Steele picks up, feeds the slot, but it's going to be Hernsek with it here. Hernsek bringing it up the ice. With a look. Try to get a shot there as he was just creeping into the slot there, and he fans on it. Kept in by Kipner. Back over to Hernsek with a shot. Stopped by Rutherford. Picked up as it rounded out of the corner by Logar. Logar gets it back on the feed there from Houlihan. Shot to save, but Rutherford on the rebound. He shuts down. The puck has come out of the chest protector there. Good stop by Parker Rutherford near the halfway mark. Working off a minute 13 of a deficit by Chris Wallem for the Distillers. Face off going to be stick side of Rutherford.
I must say, I can only imagine coming in cold like this for Parker. He's been playing pretty good here in the first half of the third.
Yep. Bear on the face-off. Buffalo comes out with it. He went up against Dominsek. Or Colochi, I should say. Buffalo with it here, looking to feed. Colochi's going to pick it up here. Feeds it back into the corner, picked up by Whipple. Whipple with it here. Back to Colochi. Colochi will take a shot. High off the glass. It was sailing up. Stewart trying to pick up. They go up against. Picked up by the Distillers, but can't hang on to it. It's Drews, and it's covered by Rutherford. .945, just over the halfway mark. 42 seconds on the man disadvantage for the Distillers. Face-off glove side of Rutherford on the puck drop. Kept in by Buffalo. Stewart picks up the pass there. Houlihan trying to come all the way in. It's paddled by Rutherford. Still in possession by the Tempest. Whipple with it here. Whipple feeds it over to Houlihan. Houlihan tries to pick the top shelf there on a spin move there, but he feeds the safety netting. And out of play, face-off stick side of Parker Rutherford with 24 seconds of power play for Buffalo on the ticker. Colucci versus Hess going to be picked up by Brancic. Brancic with it here. Puck's going to be tipped up and played down into the zone. It's going to be Hess trying to get through. Tied up in the corner. The puck is loose. Hess sees it, trying to get to it. Whipple's going to go up against Steele. Get rid of him. Houlihan there. And a boarding call. When the action begins, it finishes with a penalty against the Distillers here. We'll see if it's going to be called against. This time called against Whipple. He played good defense in the corner. Thought it was going to be Distillers with a call. There was a late whistle. And it kind of looked like someone had picked up the puck there, so it kind of looked like it went one way. But
yeah, I would have thought it was, but it seemed to me like as soon as Buffalo touched the puck is when they whistled it.
All right, so Buffalo redeemed himself off the face-off win. Now a power play coming now as the penalty expired for Wallem. So now we see Whipple's penalty, 151-man advantage for the Distillers. Are ready for face-off, glove side, and Chris Burkle.
Come on, guys, get with the program.
So they're talking center ice because of the it was 4-on-4 here, so that they're just it was right at the clock there. So as the penalty expired with the puck down right on the goal line there, so they will take a center ice puck drop here. Dominsek up against Hess, feeds it back to Brancic. Brancic getting it through, gets around Hernsek. Feeds it over to Slarks. Slarks with it here. Slarks with a look, takes a shot across. It's going to be Steele, picks it up. Well, it's going to be Hess. Trying to feed, goes out of the reach of Brancic. Working it now. Trying to pick it back up. Now Brancic with a look, feeds it over to Hess. Hess with a look, takes the shot, in and out of the glove. Battling with it, it's going to be picked up. Hernsek on the clear. Down the ice it goes, and it'll be Rutherford picks up. Rutherford looking, feeds it up to Brancic. Brancic's got Loza coming after him. Brancic hanging on to it, trying to get rid of Loza. Feeds it on the backhand, gets the pass over to Slarks. Slarks with it here. Bowie Slarks coming up, puts on the brakes against Sorrow. Puck's going to be played by Brancic. Brancic picks up here. Brancic going in with a shot high off the glass, kept in by Trevis. Trevis now picks up. Trevis feeds it back into the corner, and he feeds it over to Steele. Over to Hess. Hess with it here. Hess with a look. At the back door, trying to get it going. Brancic had to search for it. Still in possession, Distillers. Slarks with it here. Slarks with a look. Feeding it, on a clear. Steele couldn't get there on time. What a stop put on by Buffalo. Still 38 seconds of power play as Rutherford draws in Hernsek and feeds it into the corner, and now it's picked up by Hess.
That was a hell of a series by the Distillers.
Rutherford on the bench.
Call a penalty we didn't see.
There's a stick on the ice here. Burkle had his helmet off there, but he did that at the whistle. Rutherford came to the bench. Oh, this Chris Burkle is what brought the whistle. All right, so face-off will be center ice.
A lot of center ice face-offs this game.
27 seconds power play for Summit City. Face-off center ice. Burkle's got his equipment all in place there. Officials blew that dead for safety reasons. Stewart versus Hess, and we have a timeout called by Summit City. All right, so 7:38 here left up in this regulation of the third period here.
You're pretty knowledgeable about hockey. Do a great job play-by-play. What do you think they're talking about over there?
So they're going to have the empty net, so they're going to talk about how to protect that, for a pickup. If Buffalo does manage to pick up the puck and try to drop an empty net in. They're trying to set up, a good offensive play here. But it also buys time for the line you want to put out if they've been out there a while. So since it's center ice, Rutherford's going to go back in net, and so they were going to set up how they're going to try to green light him onto the bench.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of scares me if when they decide to pull the goalie. Buffalo has done such a great job last weekend and here about stretching the ice and making those long plays.
Sell back center ice, Hess versus Stewart. It's going to be picked up. Houlihan trying to get the puck going in. It's going to be Dershall picks it up. Dershall looks on the pass to the feet of Slarks, but it goes through. Picked up by Buffalo, and they just send it back into the corner. But, they put it on target to Rutherford to let him know, hey, Rutherford waiting. Rutherford up high, gets to the bench, and the extra player of Drew's on the ice. Houlihan's going to pick up. He did check to see Gratz on the keep, did see that the net is empty. Puck connects over to Hess from Gratz. Now picked up Steele going across. Dershall's got to pick this up. Dershall has it here, going up against Stewart, taking it from behind on the pass. High up, Houlihan. Back comes Dershall. Dershel shutting down the effort of Houlihan. He comes out with the puck, but it maybe Stewart will work on it. As Drews is there. Dershel trying to get it out. Now it's going to be picked up with a shot and a goal on the empty net put on by Buffalo. And they are up 4-0. Stewart picks up the empty netter.
It's a bold move with 7+ minutes, and I completely understand where they're coming from. 7+ minutes and work out for the Distillers this time.
Yeah, what a good season the Distillers have had, and it's not showing here, but Buffalo's a good team. They've been controlling, and we saw that game where they beat Toledo 14-0, and they have something up here in Buffalo, so the fans are out here supporting they're working hard in the slot. It was broken up on a block, but he kept it. Now going in. Kucharski gets hit in the corner with the puck. Puck's loose. Drew's chasing after it. It's loose. Drew's chasing after it. Sarl picks up and tries to feed it. Around it goes. Just gets through. And Wallem will go back. And Wallem will go back and pick up. Managed to get it in the zone. Drews picks up the pass here. And it's taken away. And here comes Ventura in the slot. And here comes Ventura in the slot. Aaron trying to get a shot there. Slowed down. Rutherford played it.